guys, and welcome back again to yet another episode of The Last of Us review. I believe now it's episode 7 we're up to. First off, I'd like to say that I'm sorry about the delay of this video. I've been sick the last week or so. I'm feeling a bit better today, so hopefully we can get through this review and I can talk about this. We are now talking about the Left Behind DLC from the game, well, obviously the episode from the show, and they actually done a very good way of interpreting this episode. The DLC is fantastic. One of the best DLCs I've ever probably played for a game. It's enjoyable, it's fun, it's heartbreaking, it's sad, it gets all the emotions going in all the possible right ways. Now, episode 6, we have that discussion with Joel and Ellie where she doesn't understand what loss is, but we learn now in this episode that she does understand what loss is as we're dealing with Riley. The actress who played Riley in the game, she plays in the show, plays it very well, and I was impressed with how they interpreted this story. And you had all the key parts from the DLC actually in the game, and it spent a while developing the characters between them more. So Ellie, Riley, basically back in Boston, it's in the past, it's dealing with up to Ellie and how she got bit and what left behind actually means. There's a very great scene in this, I think, when you go to the shopping mall. It reminds me of Dawn of the Dead a little bit. I think maybe that is intended, but when they turn on the power and the escalator starts working, and he's never seen an escalator before, and to me this is like you see the child in her with how she's discovering how escalator works technically, and I like this build up to it. Obviously you got the part of the carousel, you got the part where they go to the arcade and they play the Mortal Kombat game. I am sitting there thinking, do you know what, behind you is it's Final Fight, and you're playing Mortal Kombat, but Final Fight was the game for me that brought memories of the 1980s, early 90s. I absolutely loved this arcade machine. I spent a lot of money on it. I remember asking my mum, can I have some money to go to the video shop, video rental? You could rent VHS videos, but they would also have arcade machines in there, and Final Fight was one of them, next to another classic arcade machine, Ninja Turtles. Anyone that's played Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, knows that this is an absolute classic. It wasn't in the show, but Final Fight was. But I love the interaction of when they're playing Mortal Kombat and they're doing the fatalities, and you can see how happy they are. It brings back good memories for me. And then they go, before that they're in the scene with the carousel and also the photo booth, which was really cool, added in the game. You get to choose your poses, and in this they showed them having fun, and this is kind of what we wanted to see with Ellie, just being a kid and just enjoying herself, having fun with Riley. Riley, we know she's joined the Fireflies, and she's trying to convince Ellie to leave with her. Ellie's been taught through propaganda, through Fedra, that Fireflies are bad. In the show and in the games, they're not really, they're just on the opposite side of what Joel actually stands for. I don't think the Fireflies are really bad, but obviously as we go more and more into the next few episodes, we find out, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but we find out more of what happens and what they have to do to Ellie to get a cure. But anyway, overall, I thought this episode, for fun, it was like a 10 out of 10. For character building with Ellie, it's a 10 out of 10. The ending scenes, obviously, with the Stalker variants of the virus, or the infection, or the fungi, whatever you want to call it, the cordyceps, a Stalker actually wakes up and it starts attacking Ellie and Riley. Unfortunately, they both get bit, and they both decide that they're not going to commit suicide and shoot themselves, that they're going to just wait it out and enjoy the moments that they had. Now, unfortunately, obviously for Riley, it doesn't turn out well, and this is when we find out that Ellie is immune. Now, it doesn't go into it, I can't remember if it goes into the DLC, I don't think it does, but obviously at some point Ellie had to kill Riley. because obviously Riley would have attacked her and she would have had to have dealt the final blows to her. They didn't show it in the show, which I'm actually pleased they didn't, but it's there in our minds ticking away that she actually probably did do it. Guys, this has left it on the last two episodes, episode 8 and 9. We know who's coming, we know David is coming, and and the last two episodes are going to be absolutely mind-blowing. For me, I would score this episode probably a 9 out of 10. There are better episodes that we've watched so far, but this episode in itself was also fantastic. Guys, please once again like, sub, subscribe, do all that rubbish that I ask you to do each time. But please guys, I hope you enjoy these videos. It helps me a load, it gives me enthusiasm, it gives me encouragement to keep this up and keep this going. Thanks again guys, and goodbye, have a good week, and I see you on Tuesday. Take care. Oh, the Evil Dead review is still in the works, but I'm going to take my time with this one, and also I'm going to start doing game reviews. The game reviews, because I don't get paid to do anything on YouTube. I work, so they're going to be called Better Late Than Never. It's just when I spend time playing a game and then I get the review out eventually. At the moment I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West and The Witcher 3. These reviews will come at some point. And also Resident Evil 4 Remake is a must for me. I love Resident Evil. It's my favourite franchise, one of them. Dead Space is pretty good too, so is Mass Effect, but Resident Evil 4 Remake will be coming when it's released in the future. Take care guys, and goodbye.